What you see here in front of me is a fiber laser. This is a true 20-watt fiber laser, the Commarker B4. This is my very first fiber laser in my shop. I've had it for several months now. I've been testing it, learning it, using it, and producing quite a bit of products to sell from it. So come with me as we take a brief look at the machine, but then talk overall about the benefit that this fiber laser has brought to my small business. So this is the Commarker 20-watt fiber laser. This is a true fiber laser. Unlike other smaller galvo lasers you may have seen in my workshop or on my channel, this one is legit. It's fiber. This machine has a total working area of 11 centimeters by 11 centimeters with this one lens. And then if you swap out the lenses, which you get two, you can increase that working area to 20 centimeters square. That is ginormous. That is amazing. The 11 centimeter square is perfect for 99% of my products, but that 20 centimeter working area really takes it to the next level. It really makes it to where pretty much any product that I could use a fiber for really is going to fit here. I'll use it. Now obviously it's not going to be the end all be all, but when you compare this to the other galvo style desktop machines that I've tested where their maximum size is around 70 millimeters square, this one knocks their socks off. This laser operates on the 1064 nanometer wavelength, which is similar to other metal marking machines, but this one, being a 20-watt fiber, really punches and really packs a lot of power in there to engrave fast or very deep. That being said, let's get this guy over to LaserTown Workbench, get it set up. Let's get out our slew of materials and run through them so you guys can see some real-time speeds, some different kind of engraving qualities, things that you can use with this machine, and otherwise test it out and show it off a little bit more. Alright guys, I've finished all of my material tests. You kind of saw the laser run through things kind of quickly. And I just want to talk about the different kind of materials that the fiber laser can do. This is not all of the different materials that a fiber laser is able to do. These are the ones that I most commonly will use for business, and really it had the things I had on hand so I could show you guys. First and foremost is, of course, slate. I think slate is probably one of the #1 things people engrave. And so with the fiber laser, you can get colorized slate results. Like you see with these logos here, by varying the amount of speed and power, the hotter, the longer it will engrave on an area with slate, the darker it becomes. I'm able to achieve anything from a light gray to a more standard medium gray, tan, and even down to a gold color. Using this to break apart a design enables you to get a colorized result. I have a full video talking about the ins and outs, concepts, and everything of colorizing slate with engravings, and there'll be a link to that one down below if you want to take a deep dive and really learn the process and theory behind it more. Somewhat related to slate, but a little bit different, is terracotta. In case you did not know, terracotta can be engraved just like slate can be. It does not react with a colorization result exactly the same as slate, but depending upon, again, your speed and power, how much heat you apply, you can get anything from kind of a light gray to a darker, almost black look, probably more charcoal colored. You're also able to get depth of engraving with terracotta. It is a material that when you engrave it, it is kind of a subtractive machining process, and so once it's done, you can fill the divots. You can tell material has been removed, which is nice. It gives you a permanent engraving. Moving on down the line of things that are fairly common with laser engraving are these guys, the laserable Leatherette Patches. These guys are designed to be laser engraved, and as you go through different materials and engrave them, you get different colorized results. Now these are not based upon speed and power. These colorized results are based upon the product themselves, and when you buy them, it will tell you, for example, red to black engraving and black to gold. This one in particular turned out really nice. I really like how that gold pops against the black background and the somewhat gold stitches. This is probably one of my favorite ones. As with the terracotta, the Leatherette Patches does leave behind a little bit of a divot. You can see and feel your engraving all at once, so it makes for a durable, long-lasting engraving effect that should not rub off. What it's going to take for this engraving to disappear is physical abrasion of the material itself, which means this will last a lot longer in the field than something that is more superficial in nature. Something that is a little bit different, it's my first time experiment with them, are these silicone coasters. These are 100% silicone. They have a coating on the top that when you engrave does remove, and it leaves whatever the base color is behind it. So here we have navy with white, we have white with black, and of course black with white. I have several different other colors of these that I played around with, and with the fiber laser, the white, black, and navy were the only colors that seemed to react pretty good with the fiber laser's wavelength of light. So that's something that is worth noting and something worth experimenting. This is not particular to this laser. I've run across this with my other machines. Different lasers, different wavelengths seem to react differently with colors. So it's very cool when a supplier can give you a sample pack, which these came in a sample pack of multiple different colors. Run through it, test around, find out what works, what doesn't work, and then you got things pinned down. The last few things here are definitely no surprise when it comes to what can a fiber laser engrave. It's probably the #1 thing people expect and think of when they hear of fiber lasers, and that's metal. I have here a stainless steel business card, and this is very, very thick. I like buying the thicker stainless steel cards, not necessarily for customer use. A lot of them don't order the really, really thick ones due to cost, but these are great for handing out as promotional material to advertise my own business. Giving something that is thick, robust, not a flimsy thing, it makes it less likely to be tossed or thrown away by that customer. I have a feeling that they'll hang on to it longer, and if your target audience is someone in the machining or manufacturing arena, some kind of thick stainless shows them that you are able to do something more than just a flimsy little aluminum coated card, and gets their minds thinking towards heavy metal objects, which is great. That's what your fiber really excels at. Along the same lines, I have anodized aluminum business cards. These are also thick, not as thick and heavy as the stainless, but again, this is, I think, 0.8 millimeters in thickness. Definitely an upgrade from the thin ones that we see a lot as far as laser engraving goes. This is not something you're really going to bend easily. And again, if you're looking to advertise your business, something like this not only says, yes, I can engrave it, but man, feel that quality. That could be yours too. And then last up, as far as things that are possible, aluminum dog tags. Whether it be military style dog tags like I've got here, or literal pet tags that you have different shapes for, the fiber laser makes quick work of these, and it's definitely an area where having some kind of batch processing layout to do multiples would really excel at. If nothing else, you're doing kind of individual one-offs. The acrylic fence pieces that come with the Commarker laser are perfect for this. Get it dialed in, put it at your fence, run it, and before you turn around, it's done and ready for another one. So let's jump over here and talk about the small business aspect. When does it make sense to have a stationary, or rather more stationary laser such as this, as opposed to something small and portable like you've seen on other videos on my channel? I think it can be summarized in basically 2 bullet points. One is speed, the other is power. This laser setup, the way it is set up with its larger working area and its more powerful laser, means you can get faster results. This will engrave things faster, so the speed wins. And with time being money, that's really well spent as far as a machine that you're going to be sitting at and either spending 1 minute per project or 20 seconds per project. In the end, that really adds up. Makes a big difference. Along the lines of power, this being 20 watts versus the others somewhere between 2 to 5 watts, they kind of vary. You can literally do things almost 10 times as fast with this machine. You're also able to engrave things deeper, have more power transferred from the laser into your material, and get better effects in general overall. The small lasers definitely are more portable than this one. This one does not have any kind of safety shield. It's definitely set up to be used in an environment where someone who's there, or anyone who's there, knows a laser is in use and they're wearing their personal protective equipment such as eye protection, or you have physical shields in place. Other machines that I've shown on my channel have built-in shields that do protect you, and those are geared and advertised more towards people who might travel to arts and craft shows, maybe hobbyist events, and want to take the machine and do on-site engraving. This machine could absolutely do the same thing. So long as you have a power source, standard 120 volt, 110 volt US power source, this machine will operate. The thing that I would advise you to do that this does not come with straight out of the box is build and incorporate some kind of safety devices. I would be a fan of a physical enclosure on all sides except for this front, and on that front either make it a solid door you open and close, or buy some laser safety plastic and build yourself a little door or something like that. You want to make sure you keep yourself safe, but more importantly than that, you want to make sure you keep everyone else around you, especially your customers at an event, safe as well. An opened air machine such as this will not be as safe as the enclosure ones, but it doesn't mean this is not possible. So now I want to talk about the pros and cons of the machine. First off, the pros. It works great. It works fantastic. I've had no problems out of this machine, and I have been using it in my workshop for my small business for at least 2 months. Probably longer because I don't remember things too wonderfully. Other things that I like about this machine is it is relatively compact. It does not take up a ton of space, and it has a threaded insert table for affixing jigs, fences, anything I want. This is a very large table working surface and makes it very easy to attach things that I will be making in the future to make my production processes and workflows much more streamlined, precise, and efficient. The other pros with this machine could also be cons because it depends on what kind of software you're using. I love the fact that it has rotary compatibility, and depending upon your kit will come with one or others. I also like the fact that it does come with a foot switch. While the foot switch workflow is not something I currently will implement in here just from a safety standpoint, since my family and my sons are also in my workshop occasionally, I don't want this thing firing off accidentally or when I'm not 100% ready. Having a machine capable of it and having the hardware pieces with it is a big bonus. It definitely allows you to step it up and treat it more as an industrial business machine rather than something that is a little more consumer grade that you would have to either do without if it's not compatible or purchase separately if you want to add a foot switch option. The rotary that I got is probably more designed and geared towards rings. I tried doing some ring engraving and it worked. I was able to get that done, but it's not something that is really in my arena or interest as far as offering for products. And this being more of a specialized rotary device, I'm not sure I'll have much use for it in that capacity. That being said, the rotary itself is extremely heavy. This is probably at least 5 pounds. Lots of metal construction. You've got things such as brass or bronze threaded rods here that go in and out for clamping your materials. You have a monster of a stepper motor driving everything, and lots of configuration options with this foot base to attach it to the table, mount it vertical, 45 degrees, anywhere in between, and horizontally. Alright, going back to that pro/con of the software, this machine right out of the box comes with EasyCAD, which once you learn it, and it's not super difficult to learn, it is a very capable program. This laser is also Lightburn compatible, and since I have Lightburn for all of my other machines, and more importantly, all of my other designs, I went ahead and purchased Lightburn, upgraded my license to the Galvo version, and use it for that. Now that being said, this is Lightburn compatible, but right out of the box, the foot switch and the rotary, I have yet to get those set up. I know it can happen, it's just not something that is just easily done as it was with EasyCAD. That's probably user error, and that's honestly probably me, because I don't want to use the foot switch and have an application for the rotary. It's one of those things. If it's not in your arena to learn, you're going to kind of skip it, and that's what I did. The last thing that I will point out that it might be a con to you if you've seen my other videos of similar lasers being an all-in-one complete package is the lack of safety shields and fume extraction. That is not unique to this machine though. Most of the fiber lasers in this price range will be of a similar build style. They will be an open laser. They will count on you to incorporate personal protective equipment, safety measures, and physical shields, as well as provide your own fume extraction. That's what this big 6-inch duct is back here. That lines over, goes through a blast gate to an inline fan, and then out the wall of my workshop. This is something that you should have regardless if your laser does come as a complete package. Even if it also has an air purifier, you really need to be running fume extraction and taking it out of your building, workshop, home, wherever you're running it. That is really what you should be doing from a safety standpoint. And of course, you need to also wear your safety goggles, glasses, or put shields in place to make sure you don't burn your eyes out, because that's kind of the only pair you're really going to have. Okay, so who do I think would benefit from the Commarker and who should shy away from it? I definitely think anyone looking to get into a laser engraving business who treats this as a serious business should be looking at a fiber laser. You should at minimum be looking at a 20 watt, but they make them as large as 50 watt and higher. So if you can afford it, go more powerful. Go with the 50 watts, the 60 watt, whatever you can find. As technology in the laser engraving world changes, which it is constantly doing, there's no telling. By the time you see this video, 20 watts may not be that much. So definitely price it out, see what you can afford, and realize that a machine is an investment. Not only do you want it to meet your current needs without breaking the bank, you want to really be honest with yourself and say, am I treating this as a business? Am I going to grow this? If the answer is yes, invest in yourself and get a machine you're not going to regret having in about a year or so. So that, of course, begs the question, who do I think should not get this laser? I would not recommend it to anyone who is starting out, has zero laser experience, and does not really have an interest in making this a business. I know there are smaller machines, more complete package, a lot more user-friendly, straight out of the box, that can still engrave on metal, just like this one can, and that probably will meet your needs perfectly fine for the hobby arena, and possibly the small business entry-level arena as well, if money is a tight option. That being said, this is not a complicated machine, so if you are a prosumer, sure, we'll pick one between the two. It's going to be a good machine. It definitely lives up to the advertising parts. It definitely lives up to what the manufacturer says, and it has done everything I expected it to do, plus some more. That being said though, if you have questions or comments, anything I didn't cover, anything I did not show being used, or stuff like that, definitely leave me a comment down below. Otherwise, take care, and I'll see you guys next time in the workshop.